California is at it again. Remember that time they decided to ban gas-powered cars? Yeah, this is kinda like that, but for robots. Except not actual robots, more like the brains inside them. We're talking about artificial intelligence, or AI, the thing making your phone smarter than your uncle who still uses Facebook to share Minions memes. California's solution, SB 1047, a bill aimed at regulating AI. It's like trying to fit a muzzle on something that exists entirely in the digital world. Supporters say it's about time someone put guardrails on this runaway train. Opponents? Well, they're seeing red and not the helpful Siri kind. They're worried this is just going to throw a giant wrench into the gears of progress, so buckle up, we're diving headfirst into the world of algorithms, ethics, and whether California is leading the charge or about to hit a major roadblock. Spoiler alert, it's complicated. Let's face it, AI can be amazing. It's helping doctors diagnose diseases earlier, making our cities run smoother, and even composing symphonies that would make Beethoven jealous. But like a toddler with a flamethrower, it has the potential to go very, very wrong.
Advocates for SB 1047 are basically saying, hold on, let's teach this toddler some fire safety first. They argue that AI needs rules, standards, and some serious oversight. Think of it like building codes for skyscrapers. You wouldn't want to live in a building that wasn't built to code, would you?
The concern is that without these safeguards, AI could be used in ways that are discriminatory, invasive, or even dangerous. Imagine AI deciding who gets a loan, who gets hired, or even who gets medical treatment based on biased data. Suddenly, that future where robots do all the work doesn't seem so utopian. On the other side of the silicon curtain we have the critics, and they are not holding back. They argue that SB 1047 is like trying to teach that aforementioned toddler to paint a masterpiece with their hands tied behind their back. In other words, it's going to stifle innovation.
Their big fear? That all the red tape and bureaucratic hurdles will scare away investors and entrepreneurs, sending them running to states with a more hands-off approach to AI? It's a classic case of government overreach, they claim, where well-meaning but ultimately misguided regulations will end up doing more harm than good.
And let's not forget the economic impact. California's tech industry is a global powerhouse, but critics argue that SB 1047 could put a serious dent in its growth. They worry that the cost of compliance will be too high, especially for startups and smaller companies, and that it will ultimately make it harder for them to compete.
Section 4. Finding the balance. Navigating the risks and rewards. Okay, so we've got the AI enthusiasts over here worried about safety, and the tech titans over there worried about profits.
Is there any common ground to be found?
Well, here's the thing. Both sides actually agree on one crucial point. AI is powerful and needs to be handled with care.
The real debate isn't about we need to regulate AI, but to do it effectively.
It's about finding that sweet spot where we can encourage innovation without throwing caution and potentially humanity to the wind.
This is where things get really tricky. How do you write rules for something as complex and rapidly evolving as AI?
How do you define harm in a way that's both comprehensive and flexible enough to adapt to new technologies?
And how do you ensure that these regulations don't end up benefiting big tech companies at the expense of smaller players?
Section 5, California's Impact, a National Blueprint. California has a history of being a trendsetter.
Remember when they banned smoking in restaurants?
Now the entire country thinks secondhand smoke smells worse than a skunk at a garlic festival.
So it's no surprise that everyone's watching to see what happens with SB 1047.
If it passes, it could have ripple effects across the country, influencing national AI policy and potentially even setting a global standard.
Other states might follow suit, creating a patchwork of regulations that could be a nightmare for companies operating across state lines.
But here's the other side of that coin. California's actions could also spur the federal government to finally take action on AI regulation, creating a more uniform set of rules for everyone to follow.
Whether that's a good thing or not, well, that depends on who you ask. Section 6, Conclusion, a work in progress. So, there you have it. The battle over AI regulation is heating up, and California is right in the thick of it. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure. The decisions we make today will have a profound impact on the future of technology, society, and possibly even humanity itself. Will SB 1047 be the answer? Only time will tell. But one thing is for certain, this is just the beginning of a much larger conversation about how we manage the risks and rewards of artificial intelligence. And that, my friends, is a conversation worth having. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.